Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm beyond thrilled to see all of you here. It's a good problem to have, they tell me, to have standing room only. But let's start with, if you have a free seat next to you, could you raise your hand? Okay. So, all right, so we have some. I know there's some people watching the live stream in the auditorium. If they can hear me, there are some seats in here if you want to come in. I'm Michelle Deutchman. I'm the executive director of the UC National Center for Free Speech and Civic Engagement. And today is our inaugural conference. And it really could not be more timely considering the White House just dropped an executive order about free speech in higher education, which is, I'm sure will be on a discussion for today. I know today is going to be a dynamic and thought-provoking afternoon. The hashtag for our conference, which is hashtag Speech Matters, really gets to the heart of the issue. It matters in every aspect of our lives, and it undergirds our democracy. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into how speech in the media, on digital platforms, in the classroom impacts higher education. We have brought together a powerhouse group of industry leaders, academics, and policymakers to share their insights on the cutting-edge issues and challenges presented by campus expression. I want to give a shout out to the 34 students who are here today representing the 10 UC campuses. This morning, I had the privilege of talking with them, hearing about their personal experiences on campus. Each of you are going to need to play an integral role today. Every panel leaves ample time for questions and answers from the audience, so I want you to be ready to be part of this robust conversation. To kick off the afternoon, I want to introduce the fearless leader of the greatest public education institution in the world, of which I am a proud graduate. Go Bears. President Janet Napolitano is the 20th president of the University of California and the first woman to serve in that role. She leads a university of 10 campuses, 5 medical centers, 3 affiliated national laboratories, and statewide agricultural and national resources program. The UC system has more than 273,000 students, 223,000 faculty and staff, an operating budget of $36.5 billion, and 2 million living alumni. She's a distinguished public servant, is the former U.S. Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, and was a 2-term governor of Arizona. Please join me in welcoming President Napolitano.
Well, thank you, Michelle, and welcome everyone to this inaugural convening of the National Center for Free Speech and Civic Engagement. I think, as Michelle alluded, this is a very opportune time for this conference. Challenging issues of free speech continue to crop up across the country, and ever-evolving technology brings with it questions of law, ethics, of how we conduct our public discourse. So not only are these issues timely, but they are also timeless, and they are critical to a healthy democracy. The University of California is proud to bring together such a thoughtful, distinguished, and diverse group of individuals to delve into the thornier questions of free speech on our nation's college campuses. Higher education leaders like myself struggle every day to balance free expression with campus climate. But as Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis wrote in 1927, those who fought for American independence, quote, believed liberty to be the secret of happiness and courage to be the secret of liberty. It takes courage to protect free expression and bear all of its costs, but it is critical to our liberty and to the survival of our democracy. I know we all feel a sense of urgency to meet these challenges head on. Doing so is starkly important for college campuses, for our students, and for independent thought and respectful discourse across our country. Higher education institutions have an important role to play in shepherding this conversation, and UC has a fierce tradition of First Amendment scholarship, as well as history and personal investment in the struggle for free speech rights. It was 55 years ago this fall that a 21-year-old philosophy major named Mario Savio climbed onto a police car in the middle of UC Berkeley's Sproul Plaza to address his fellow students. With that, they began a 32-hour blockade of the police car. Students took turns stepping onto the roofs of the car to speak out against the university's ban on political advocacy on campus, all the while removing their shoes to avoid damaging the car. At that time, it was the largest and most disruptive act of civil disobedience on a college campus in the United States, and it touched off a movement of nonviolent, persistent, direct action to fight for free expression on campus. The students and faculty who launched this movement showed tremendous moral courage. They risked their academic careers. They risked their places at UC Berkeley, and they risked arrest, all to fight for free expression on campus and to effect changes that remain embedded in the University of California's DNA and shape our understanding of free speech in our country. They were motivated by the urgency they felt to participate fully in the civil rights movement and by a moral conviction, one that Mario Savio articulated beautifully in an interview he gave on the 30th anniversary of the movement. To me, he said, freedom of speech is something that represents the very dignity of what a human being is. That's what marks us off from the stones and the stars. You can speak freely. It is the thing that marks us just below the angels. We at the University of California will continue to celebrate and honor this history and protect the right to free expression on our campuses. We cannot and will not let fear or violence preclude free speech. Yet we will not remain silent in the face of hateful rhetoric that degrades our students' access to a conducive learning environment. We will challenge hateful and intolerant speech when we encounter it, with more speech, with better speech. As we recommit to these values and take on these complex issues, I am especially gratified that we have so many bright and thoughtful students participating today from the University of California and indeed beyond. I want to particularly thank Berkeley Law Dean Erwin Chemerinsky, UC Irvine Chancellor Howard Gilman, and our center's Executive Director, Michelle Deutchman, for driving forward the important work of this center and for making today's conference possible. Our thanks also to our distinguished national and academic advisory boards and to all of our panelists and speakers today. We truly appreciate you being here to help us think through these challenges. And to our audience here and online, I hope you find today's conversation thought-provoking. And I hope this conference helps all of us to fulfill our part as campus leaders, as Americans, as human beings in strengthening our democracy. So that is no small challenge. That is our task.